So it's been a long time since I made a sports video. I've been doing a lot of videos lately on my books, my fiction novels, which are available on Amazon, Barnes& and Nobles, and all book outlets online. But with the NFL season about to start in a couple days, I figured let's do a prediction video. Last year I was a little bit off. I had the Bills going against the Saints, and obviously that did not transpire. The Bills lost in the AFC title game. The Saints were upset by the Bucks in the NFC divisional round, and the 49ers weren't even close. They didn't even make the playoffs, but obviously we all know that they had injuries. So I decided to make a video about the season right now, just to see how everything is and see the predictions and what everybody will think. So here we go. Let's start with the AFC North. I have the Cleveland Browns winning the division. If you look at the Browns team, they have a solid quarterback in Baker Mayfield. They have a two-headed monster at running back in Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. They have talented receivers in Odell Beckham Jr., Jarvis Landry. They have a solid offensive line. They have a solid defensive line. The cornerbacks are solid. The Browns are one of the most talented teams in the NFL. The only thing that might trip up the Cleveland Browns is facing the really good teams like the Kansas City Chiefs and other possible really good teams they might have to encounter. And plus, their own division is tough. So I see the Browns going 12-5, going 4-2 against their division, including losing one game to the Ravens and losing one game to the Bengals. So I have them sweeping the Steelers. Speaking of the Steelers, I have them finishing at 9-8, not making the playoffs, just barely missing out. I think the Steelers are going to take a step back this season. There were a lot of cracks in the armor last year, and I think it's going to finally take hold on them. The Ravens are going to obviously make the playoffs with an 11-6 record. The Bengals they have a lot of work. Their defense still leaves a lot to be desired. Their offense is going to be entertaining though. So the Bengals are going to finish 5-12. In the AFC South, I have the Titans going 11-6, including 4-2 against a very weak division. The Colts, I have them going 10-7 with Carson Wentz back. The only concern for me is that their top offensive guard, Quentin Nelson, is out for a few weeks, and that might hurt them early on, and that probably could affect this 10-7 prediction. However, I think they have a team that's talented enough with good coaching to overcome that. But a lot's going to depend on Carson Wentz and all the other talented playmakers they have to see if they can do that. Jaguars are going to take a slight step forward with their new quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, 5-12. The Texans are going to be the worst team in the NFL at 1-16. I think they are trash. They have little to no talent, and they're just a hot mess. The Buffalo Bills in the AFC East, I have them going 13-4. I think they're going to pretty much take down the division once again. The Patriots are going to rebound from that bad season they had last year and make the playoffs again. They're going to be 10-7. The Dolphins are going to take a step back at 9-8, and here's why I have the Dolphins going 9-8 in case Dolphins fans come on here and call me trash. Look at that schedule. They got to go to Foxborough to start the year. Then they got to host the Bills. Then they got to go to Las Vegas, which they could win, but they host the Colts, which also could be a win. It just depends on how the ball rules. And then they got to go to Tampa. So that early season schedule is not easy at all. Then they got to go to London and take on the Jaguars. Then they have a bit of a good stretch. They play the Falcons, but then they have to go to Orchard Park to play the Bills. They play the Texans, but then they got to play the Ravens again. It's only around weeks 11, 12, 13, 15 that the Dolphins really have a great stretch, in my opinion, that they're probably going to have to win all those games. But the way they end the season is they're going to have a lot of wins culminated by then because the last 3 games are rough. So that's why I don't have the Dolphins doing much. That AFC is so brutal, you never know. I have the Jets finishing 3-14. They're going to take a small step forward, but not quite. The Chiefs are, in my opinion, one of the best teams in the NFL. They got better somehow. They're going to go 14-3 unless Patrick Mahomes gets hurt. The Chargers I have finishing 10-7, but missing the playoffs because of conference record. So the Chargers are going to go 10-7, do better than last year, but miss the playoffs. As unfortunate as that is, the Las Vegas Raiders are going to finish 8-9. The Broncos get better, but miss the playoffs. In the NFC, I have Aaron Rodgers leading the Packers to another division title. I have the Minnesota Vikings coming back and going 10-7. I have the Bears stumbling out of the gate under Andy Dalton, and right when Justin Fields comes onto the field, that's when they start winning, but by then it's too late. the Lions are going to have a bad season. They are just awful now that Jared Goff is their quarterback. Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers got better, but I think it's only going to translate to one more win under the 17-game schedule. The Saints are going to miss the playoffs this year because I think losing Drew Brees and having Jameis Winston as their quarterback is going to hurt them a little bit. Even though they did do well last year without him for a period of time, they also had to play really bad teams during that stretch for the most part. And I think they're going to struggle a lot without Drew Brees' leadership there, and it's going to hurt them. Carolina's going to go 6-11. Atlanta is going to struggle and go 4-13. The reason why I have Carolina and Atlanta doing so bad is they don't really have much of a defense. And I think that's going to continue. And Atlanta's offense is going to get worse if that's even possible. Dak Prescott is back. And that means the Dallas Cowboys are going to have a strong season. Well, strong by their standards. 9-8, making the playoffs somehow. Winning that horrible division. The Washington football team are going to have one of the best defenses in the NFL, along with one of the worst offenses in the NFL. They're going to finish 8-9. The Giants are going to take a small step forward, but still miss the playoffs, 7-10. And the Eagles are going to round out the trash bin at 4-13. I have the San Francisco 49ers bouncing back in a huge way, despite struggling against their own division. They're going to go 12-5. The LA Rams are going to finish 11-6 and just beat out the Seahawks due to the tiebreaker because I think the Rams are going to sweep that season series. And the Arizona Cardinals, in any other division, they'd probably be a playoff team, but they're 9-8, rounding out the division. So with that, division predictions, and mainly a lot of my predictions were based off not just strength of schedule, but how talented the teams are, the coaching, and basically where a lot of teams play certain teams. You got to account weather, injuries, stuff like that. And what we know right now is all the injuries that are happening so far. A lot of other injuries can account in the regular season, but we don't know that yet. So that's where I'm at right now. And let's see in this scenario who makes it to the Super Bowl. So we go to the AFC wildcard round. The Ravens take on the Titans for the second year in a row, and I'm going to have Lamar Jackson once again beat the Titans. The Colts go into Cleveland and lose to the Browns. The Bills stomp the Patriots and make it to the next round. The Rams go into Arlington and beat the Cowboys. The Niners take down the Seahawks. After struggling against them during the regular season, they win this time around. The Bucs take down the Vikings. So we go to the division round. And in the division round, I have the Bills taking down the Browns. I have the Chiefs taking down the Ravens, and I have the Bucs taking down the 49ers in the division round. Packers once again dispose of the Rams, so the NFC West pretty much runs themselves out. And now we go to the NFC and the AFC title games. Conference championship. Bucs and the Packers. I have the Bucs winning it again, and I have the Chiefs winning it again. And yes, this is very predictable, but I have the Bucs and the Chiefs making it to the Super Bowl. I have a feeling that this year it's going to be very similar to last year. The Bucs kept all 22 starters. The Chiefs got better. The Chiefs somehow got better. They improved that offensive line. This time around, I had the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl, their second Super Bowl in 3 years, a mini dynasty since they've been to 3 Super Bowls in a row. I really don't want this to happen. I don't want the Chiefs and the Bucs to make it to the Super Bowl. I'd rather have the 49ers make it to the Super Bowl and the Bills make it to the Super Bowl. But if we're going based on talent, coaching, circumstances, and how the free agency period played out, along with the draft, this is the most likely scenario. What do you think? Do you think that the result that I picked but didn't want is going to happen? Who do you think is going to make the Super Bowl? Who do you think is going to win the division? Who do you think is going to be a surprise contender? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe. I don't do sports videos as much as I used to, but I still love sports when I'm not writing books. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.